Hey everyone, welcome to Real Life with Laurie. I'm here today about the show regarding real people and the real life challenges that we all have from one journey to another. And we're also talking with different professionals, and again about those challenges and how they help others overcome, and or what the people um, doing the challenges or having the challenges are doing to overcome or have overcome with. So today I have Scott Rust, who is a habit development coach, and Scott specializes in productivity and leadership coaching, working with self-employed professionals to optimize the way they grow their services, the way they work to grow their services. He helps you unlock 5 hours per week in your busy calendar by providing a better business habits in time, energy, and mind management. And if your success depends on your performance, discover the transformative results of SR coaching. So I know Scott personally, and I've experienced his coaching. I'm actually working with him now. And the reason why this show is actually up and going is because of the coaching that I've done with Scott. So thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule today and being here with us, Scott. I really appreciate it.
No, of course, Laurie. I really appreciate you having me on the show.
So this is actually take two for us because I did something wrong with the sharing. So I apologize for that, Scott. And he's been graceful enough to take another few minutes for us to re-record this so I can upload it to the group that I have for this show. So Scott, thank you again for being here. And do you want, again, just to discuss uh, something that I find surprising is that you said it was hard for you to at first call yourself a coach because, again, I have only experienced the best coaching from you. And what that experience of that challenge has been or is, and how and what it looks like currently.
Yeah, sure. It's interesting when you first invited me on the show and was kind of describing like what we were looking for doing this. I was kind of curious, okay, well, what should I bring to the table? And as I'm, as I have my own coaching practice, I was kind of thinking back to when I first started and thought it might be a good topic to bring up, like just my own personal struggles with actually calling myself a coach and overcoming those challenges of self-doubt and fear and kind of failing along the way. So I was interested in talking a little bit about that today.
That's awesome. And when you found yourself finally taking the steps towards overcoming, getting comfortable with calling yourself a coach and being able to recognize it yourself in the position and being able to help others, what did you do? Like, what were the steps that you did take?
Yeah, so I think the way it first started out, even for me, just was understanding that there's this such thing as like coaching out there, and that started out just by having my own first experience with a coach. And I thought I was like, well, this is actually really interesting, and I was kind of curious, well, what impact would this have, if I did it on a regular basis? And so from there, I'd hired my own coach, and kind of led me into saying that this is the path that I see for myself as well. And within that path is some of the challenges I faced where it was like, well, who am I to call myself a coach? What experience do I have? And I started realizing the more that I did it, that it was much less about me showing up and telling people what to do, and much more about facilitating the self-discovery process. Um, and what I mean by that is I feel like a lot of times we know what we should be doing, and there's a bit of a gap between what we should be doing and what we're actually doing. And when we can close that gap, what impact does that have on your business? So how I overcame some of those personal challenges, I would say, was even just starting off, changing my LinkedIn profile as a coach. That was a hurdle. And then from there, I think even from there, it took a little bit of time to actually go to events and meetings and call myself a coach and tell people about what I was doing. And the two things that I think that really helped me out were one, just having a few friends as clients helped build my confidence. Just say, hey, yeah, you can actually add value to other people. And the second part of that was actually going through a 6-month coaching program with the International Coaching Federation. I'm in the process of being accredited for. And I think those two things helped kind of boost my confidence a little bit when I was first starting out as a coach.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And again, it's just seeing the different steps that you've taken, what, first recognizing what the coaching meant to you, being able to do access friends and to start the process of actually learning how to coach, and then being able to find yourself in like an accredited program. It just shows that like it's not just a quick resolution, that there is actual steps, step by step, and that you were willing to go through that process. So that's incredible. And cheers to you, and thanks for doing it, because here we are, taking self pride out of it. So I just want to ask too, what is one tip that you use, or what is one thing that you use during the day, for to better your well-being, and what do you practice basically? What is one suggestion?
So I know you're going to narrow me down to just one here. There's many that I could list off, whether it be meditating or my morning routine. But I think the one that has the biggest impact is kind of just this idea of progress over perfection. And what I mean by that is that it's so easy to compare ourselves, even to our past self, and be like, oh, I used to be so good at this, or I used to be going to the gym all the time, or working so productively. What's going on now? And rather than comparing yourself to that person, just compare yourself to yesterday. And if you can continue to improve on yesterday, those small changes over time can become exponential. And so, yeah, so I believe in kind of embodying the mindset of progress over perfection. And
Yeah,
whenever I notice those other feelings kind of bubble up, then then just trying to remind myself of that, rather than comparing myself to my peers or to my past self.
yeah, because um I fall back onto that because I used to be very active, and I used to be, I used to
Mm,
weight lift and power lift and do strongman. And I definitely don't have the same body right now, but life is ebb and flows, and being able to understand the progress that I made, from my yesterday to here today doing the show. So it just shows, might not have my physical aspects, but my mental aspects are far more healthier. So that's a really,
mm.
really good tip for anybody to take in and digest within themselves, for sure. For sure. Well, thank you so much, Scott, again, for being part of this process, and I really appreciate you being the first person here, because this is, I get to start my business week off with you usually in the morning time, so this is kind of the same atmosphere that we have, and it just made it easier being with somebody that I get to talk to weekly. So thank you so much.
No, definitely. Well, thank you for having me on the show, Laurie. I really appreciate it.
All right, well, take care, and everybody have a wonderful week.